Hamish, thank you for joining us today. As the year's rolled on to a new financial year, it's a really good time to sort of refresh, restart, and look back on not just the last year, but also your career. You've
Mm.
been through a few different agencies, and we're really pleased and proud that you have decided to work with us here at Ray White Remuera. To start off with, can you just tell us why? What made you decide to join Megan and myself here at Remuera?
Yeah, well, as you said, I've been around and been through different brands and different offices and different locations. And one of the big drivers for me joining Megan Jaffe Real Estate was having non-selling principles, which I've had managers who just manage, but they don't have skin in the game. And you can always feel that. Like you can always feel that their livelihood is not at stake, like ours is, like yours is. And then second is that you're also not competing against me for listings, which is, I think there's a conflict of interest when that happens. And on both of those fronts, it's you certainly want an owner who has skin in the game but isn't competing against you, and that's where like we've got the sweet spot here with a proper governance structure and a non-competition situation. Yeah.
And off the back of that, when you joined us, obviously you were just establishing yourself as a team as the market was shifting. You had yourself and your wife Alice as part of your team, and now you have, after over the last financial year, built with two associates and a full-time operations manager. What are you looking forward to in the next year to compound on that? And how have you seen the shift in growth for you and your team over the last year with us?
Yes, well, it's been a bit like snakes and ladders. Like you sort of have someone join who might not be quite the right person, and then you're kind of going like that, but always moving forward. And so going forward, probably bringing on an ISA, which is like an inside sales agent. That's someone just making calls for us and helping our customers. Because the second you expedite anything like that, the service quality drops. So I think that's the next piece for our team. That may not be for everybody, but at our stage, that's where we're heading, is having like a full time
Mm.
service person in that role. Yeah, for our team. So yeah.
So we've really seen a lot of growth in you as a person and you as business people with how you've built your business over the last couple of years. What do you think is the difference between a good salesperson and a great salesperson?
Well, from the leadership perspective, that is the word. I mean, I was a salesperson, and then I would say I became like tried to manage people. But then really, you need to lead, and that's like a completely separate kettle of fish. So to build past a certain point, you do have to learn to delegate and to give responsibility to others, and that was the big piece for us moving beyond where we're at as a couple, myself and Alice. So to grow, we did have to bring on others, and we had to learn to delegate things and to trust that they would do the same job that we did after we'd provided them the systems to do so. Yeah.
And do you think you could talk a little around the accountability you have around your people? Because I can see they're very happy and they are
Yes.
growing. I can also see the satisfaction you get from supporting them in their growth. Can you talk a little bit about accountability?
Yes. Well, I mean, I've got to have the same standards myself. So I'm at the front line. I'm doing the text, the calls, organizing the flyer drops, and there's nothing that I would get my team members to do that I wouldn't do myself, or mainly that I haven't done. So I've done it all, seen it all myself. And so I believe that yeah, you should never get somebody to do something you wouldn't do yourself. So that's that piece. And then with like accountability on a week to week basis, we do have regular check-ins like twice a week. So one in person and then one by email, like a wrap up at the end of each week, what everybody's done to move the needle forward. Yeah.
And what systems and support have you utilized or seen that we have here for our salespeople that have really benefited yourself and your team?
It, not to go into too much detail on
Yeah.
anything specific, but I think the probably the biggest thing that is a difference with this office compared to others is the really thorough checking of listings before they go live. Like that's been non-existent at other places that I've been, where you can be set up for failure at the beginning of a campaign if you personally miss something. But having like second and third points of checking just means that every campaign you're going to launch, you've got like a much higher success rate and you're not being surprised, which we don't want surprises, nor do our clients. So that's the best place to start. And that's probably the best system that is different here to other places. Everything's mechanized and we're never waiting. We find we're never waiting for answers on things as well, which is great.
Yeah. And over the last couple of years, you now have a family, you have a young daughter. And so how has success changed for you over the time that you've been with us?
Um, finding balance has definitely been a challenge, and for me, it's been starting earlier and finishing a little bit earlier as well. So you just used to work to sort of like 8 every night irrespective, whereas I've brought that forward to sort of like 4:30 to 5, where I've finished almost everything. And then there's always going to be a few bits and pieces in the evening. That's the nature of being a real estate agent. As they say, we're energy traders, and I really believe that. And people do expect some of our energy in the evening, and it's unavoidable. But it's just finding that balance, and the team's a huge part of that. Like, if I didn't have my team, I wouldn't be able to manage everything, and I'd have to either like majorly cut back my business or offer worse service, and I'm not going to do the latter. So having the team is a massive part of me being able to keep everything on the straight and narrow. Yeah.
Excellent. And I suppose to wrap up there, we're really proud and pleased that you are part of our team, and we're really looking forward
Thrilled to be here.
Thank you. And we look forward to the growth as we come into the new year, not just for your team or you personally, but for everyone that is surrounding you through to your operations manager and your ongoing support that you will be bringing in. So thank you.
No, thank you, Thomas. There's no better place to be, and we really feel at home here. Genuinely, the other places I've been, we've never really felt that comfortable. As I said, there's always like surprises or bits and pieces, and here it's the opposite. We're pleasantly surprised. And yeah, it's a great place for a team to flourish. We feel like there's no handbrakes for us here. And the other part of it is being at Ray White Remuera, you can always sell. There's no suburb better, so you can always sell down. But we found in some of the other offices we're at, sometimes we were trying to sell up, and that's always a bit of a challenge, to be honest. And if you're pitching for a Remuera property, you might have an owner say, "Well, are you from Ray White Remuera?" And if you're not, they kind of look at you sideways. So that's been a big piece too, which has actually been more helpful than I think we previously anticipated until we were here. But yeah, it's going on a tangent.
No, it's a lovely tangent though, because it's highly relevant. But thank you. It's I started off saying it's a joy to work with you, and it's just I can't wait for the next year unfolding with the growth that you guys are having between yourselves. It's just exciting.
Yeah. It's an exciting space to be in, especially if you've kind of got like the business mindset that we do. And I know a lot of people are sort of like sole traders, and that's fine for them. And if that's their memo, fine. But for teams, it's the way it's heading. Like, everything is heading in the team model. And if you embrace that and have the ability to outsource and delegate, and to know that vendors aren't expecting you to do everything yourself. And in fact, to a degree, they don't want to. They don't want to have an agent that's like burnt out, busting at the seams, of like tired and overworked and a bit over it. And it's good that we can, like, we've just had our first holiday where we've actually had a break. All the other holidays we've been on the last 10 years of real estate, we've been waiting for the call from a lawyer, waiting from an angry client, having to try and settle a property while you're in another city. Whereas, yeah, we've actually been in good enough footing to actually take the time off and to recharge, which has been such a relief. Anyways.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.